Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Deb's Corner. It's Deb here. So in this video I wanted to talk about increasing your financial margin. So 5 ways to build your net worth. Let's get into it. So I just wanted to start this video by just stating that I am not a financial advisor. I always say this, but I'm gonna say this all the time. Make sure you get a second, third, fourth, fifth opinion before you act or do anything. I feel like if you get information and you receive information, your job is to go out there and do your own research and make sure that thing that you're hearing actually matches what you researched. And if it does, by all means, go ahead and act on it. But always do your research. Okay, so the first one, pay off your debt. Oh my goodness. Debt is any money that you owe anybody, to any institution, to any entity. So it's student loans, it's your credit card debt, it's your mortgage, all that. So even money that you owe your friends or your colleague is considered debt. Pay that off, because if you think about it, it makes sense, right? If you owe a certain amount of money to an institution or a person or whatever, what does that mean? That means what? That means that it's money being taken out of your pocket. You're not putting that into your account to grow your net worth. So you're losing money. So in essence, your net worth is decreasing. So pay for your debt. That's like a load off your shoulders. Pay for your debt. This is the fastest way to build net worth, because you're not having money being depleted from you every time. Number 2, reduce your spending. Basically reduce your expenses. It's kind of the same concept, right? Because debt, you're paying people back money that you owe. But in this case, number 2, when you're reducing your spending, you're cutting back on things that you may not really necessarily need, and you're just buying the things that you actually need to survive. So cut your expenses. It's self-explanatory. You basically figure out ways, go through your whole expenses. You can do that easily with your statements, your credit card statements. You go through that with your debit card statements. Go through your statements and just see, okay, what areas do I spend my money on most of the time, and in these areas do I need to spend that much money in those areas as much as I do. So when you go through your statements and you look at the list, the categories can be food, categories can be dining out, categories can be shopping for clothes. Like, you just look at those and you see, okay, I spend this so amount of money. Maybe I spend $500 to $1,000 a month on clothing. Hey, if you have expensive taste, you may spend even more. But you know what I mean? So I spend this $500 to $1,000 a month on clothing. Maybe I'm gonna cut back to maybe $250 a month on clothing. And that's a way to just build your net worth. It's self-explanatory. I'm gonna take a deep breath. This is very serious. I really want to not joke around with this whole topic, but I'm trying to make it as lively as possible at the same time, because it's very informative. I think financial literacy is the best literacy there is. But yeah, getting back to the video. So number 3, find extra sources of income. So basically, in layman language, get you a side hustle. Get you a side hustle. Get yourself a side hustle. So get yourself a hustle that will bring additional money into your account in addition to your main hustle, your main job. So always have multiple sources of income. That's another nice way to build your nest egg, to build your net worth. Number 4, make the maximum contribution to your retirement account. Meaning, there are 401ks, there are IRAs. I'm going to focus on IRA for this purpose, because it's individualized retirement accounts and it's one that you can start up on your own. And so I'll focus on that one. So for Roth IRA, the yearly maximum contribution that you can make to a Roth IRA is $6,000. Meaning you can't put more than $6,000 in your IRA. Because $6,000 is maxed out. So some people will decide to open up a Roth IRA with one firm and then go to another firm and open up another Roth IRA and then think, okay, yeah, I'm going to play the system. I'm going to put $6,000 here and $6,000 there. Ha ha ha. I'm beating the system. No, you're not beating the system. The whole point is that in total, the maximum contribution that you can contribute to your Roth IRA is $6,000, whether you have it in this firm or that firm or one firm. In total, it has to add up to $6,000. How will they know this? Hey, when you sign up for your Roth IRA, they do ask for personal information that connects that account to you. So yes, that's how they'll know that information. So yeah, maximize your retirement account. That's a great way to build your net worth. Number 5. So sidetrack, in my country, where I'm from, which is Nigeria, in my tribe, we go like this, waka. It's kind of like shame, like I cursed you. When I did this, I just remembered waka. But anyways, number 5, store your money where it can grow. This is very important. You don't want your money just sitting in account, just sitting there. You want your money to be working for you. Always have your money work for you. So most traditional brick and mortar banks offer you a annual percent yield, APY, of 0.01%. That is chump change. That's nothing. And that's just for having savings in the account. So 0.01%. No. So always store your money where you want it to grow. So storing in a high yielding savings account is much better than storing in a regular savings account, because the yield is a little bit more better. I think it was 0.40% or 0.60%. The going rate for high yielding savings account, still much better than the 0.01% that the standard brick and mortar banks give you. So always make sure your money is working and growing at all costs. That's how you increase your net worth. I wanted to clarify, I'll make some things clear in this video. I wanted to explain the difference between liquid net worth and then overall net worth. Net worth is all the things that you own that hold value that you don't owe money on. So that's net worth. So most of your net worth comes from fixed assets. So for example, your IRA, that's your individual retirement account, real estate, those are fixed assets. So for real estate, say for instance you own property and the worth is $500,000, right? This doesn't mean that you can actually transfer the cash. You can actually get the cash in hand. What it means is that, okay, on the market, this is how much your property is worth. Now, you figure out the actual worth of the house when you go to sell it at market price, right? And even when you sell it at market price, you still have to pay the realtor's fees. You still have to pay taxes and repairs and all that stuff. Once you're done with all that, right, the amount that you're left with is the actual value of the property. So yeah, so that's what net worth is that value, the actual value of the property minus the realtor fee, minus the taxes, minus the repairs. IRA, same concept. It's constantly changing with the IRA because you're constantly making gains on the investments that you have in your account. So it's constantly, your net worth should be constantly growing. But yeah, so that's what net worth is. So now if you're going into liquid net worth, liquid means it flows, right? It's constantly flowing, it's changing, it's flowing, right? So liquid net worth only covers your liquid assets. And your liquid assets are like your savings accounts, your check-ins accounts, your certificate of deposit account, which is, we often refer to it as your CDs. So those are liquid assets only because you're constantly removing, putting money in, removing, putting money in. So it's not stagnant, it doesn't stay the same, right? So hence the word liquid. So liquid assets are basically assets that you can turn into cash quickly and they don't lose the value. So if you have $500,000 in your savings account, I wish that was me, but it's not. If you have $500,000 in your account, right, and you want to pull that money out, you can simply pull it out, get cash. You're still getting that $500,000. There's no like deduction of any sort. So that's the difference between liquid asset and then the fixed assets. So stocks and bonds, although they're considered long-term wealth building tools, they're also considered liquid assets as well, only because you can sell your stocks, you can sell your bonds, and still get some kind of cash value. Now, when it comes to stocks in retirement accounts, no, you will be charged a fee if you pull it out too early. So you would have to wait till the recommended age for the Roth to pull out your money without any fees or anything charged to your account. I wanted to go to calculating. I'm trying to make this as fun as possible because this is finance. I know sometimes finance can be boring, but it's fun for me, and I'm trying to teach it in a way that's fun. I hope you guys are getting this. I really hope you guys are getting this. How to calculate your liquid net worth. Very important. So how to calculate your liquid net worth. First, you take all the debt that you owe. You add it all up. That includes, again, student loans, that includes mortgages, that includes health bills, anything that you owe. Add it all up. Then you take all your assets, meaning things that you own that have value and you don't owe money to. So you take those, you add it all up. Now the goal is to have take your assets and minus your debt, your liabilities. That number that you get at the end should be a positive number. If it's a positive number, that's how you measure your liquid net worth. If it's a negative number, we have to get that to a positive, because you want to have, the point of this is to increase your net worth. You're supposed to have some kind of net worth, right? So if you have a negative number, the goal is to work to get into a positive net worth. And the 5 things I listed before earlier will help you to get to your positive net worth. So hopefully this video is very helpful. My goal is to make everybody financially literate. I hope this video helped a bit. If you didn't know any of the things that I mentioned here, I hope it introduced you to those things, and I hope you then go and do some more research and just become well versed in those things that I mentioned. The most important thing is to leave a legacy for the next generation, and being financially literate will allow you to leave a legacy for the next generation and the generation after. We're not talking about being rich, we're talking about wealth building. Wealth and rich, 2 different things. Rich is just for you at the moment, yeah. But the wealth is the thing that carries on to the future generation, and that's what you want to focus on. So until my next video, when I'm not out of breath, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.